Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first podcast. I'm Dr. Kelvin. I'm the Clinic Director of Family Health Chiropractic.
Dr. Ashley, Doctor of Chiropractic here. I've been serving here for 9 years, seeing patients, checking adjusting spines.
So we decided to do this podcast in view of the Stanchart Marathon that's coming up. And I know many of you may know that Dr. Ashley is a very decorated marathon runner. So um, he may not need much introduction, but I'll just let him mention a bit about himself and also talking about his journey for marathon and also chiropractic as well. So take it away.
Okay, all right. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to share. So I wear several hats, right? One hat is the chiropractor hat, and something I love doing. I see lots of athletes as well. The other hat that I wear is the athlete hat. So I still continue to run. I've done 46 marathons to date, including the 2013 and 2015 Southeast Asian Games representing Singapore with a marathon best of 2 hours 32 minutes. So how all this ties in is back to the first ever chiropractic visit actually with Dr. Kelvin. Going back to 2010 when he spoke in a bicycle shop, talking about chiropractic for sportsmen, for athletes. So the angle was not so much about pain. It was more about how chiropractic can potentially impact, improve performance. So that got some of us thinking, right? Invest in our equipment, but how about our alignment, which can make all the difference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember writing on the form in October 2010. My primary reason for care is actually to get aligned so that my performance could potentially be improved in sports. So that's how I got started actually.
That was what, 15 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
15 plus years ago today.
And you happen to be one of the few marathoners who hasn't had any injuries all these years, right?
Yes, that's a good point. I'm trying to change the notion that injuries are part and parcel of sports, even at the elite high levels. No overtraining injuries since I started chiropractic care in 2010 until now, and I haven't had to take more than 3 days of planned training. So it speaks a lot to the power of gentle chiropractic.
Yeah, that's amazing. How did you decide to be a chiropractor?
Well, it made so much impact on me, right? So as an athlete, from outside top 100 Singaporeans to getting into the top few each year, so that made me think of the possibility of, hey, maybe likewise in the future I could impact another athlete, another patient, get them on the path, whatever path it may be, whether it's an athlete or just trying to get through activities of daily living. I think it gives a lot of joy and satisfaction. Yeah.
So with your experience with marathon, do you have any advice to give to our viewers in view that the Stanchart Marathon is coming? What should they watch out for, and what should they how do they prepare themselves getting close to the Stanchart Marathon?
Yeah, that's right. Stanchart Marathon will be 6th to 7th December, just literally next weekend. I think the key is don't try anything new, okay, especially in the race week. Okay, that applies for a lot of things. That could be trying out new shoes, whether at the race expo or trying a new workout. I've been advised by someone before to try a new workout the day before my important race that didn't work out very well. Stick to your routine. I think that's quite important. If you've got this routine dialed down over the weeks and months of training, hopefully. So don't stray from that routine. Get into that comfortable physiological zone and go from there. So in doing so, you can avoid injuries and avoid any mishaps leading up to race day. Okay? And then, of course, on race day, you want to make sure you wake up early, you get your nutrition in, get your toilet break in, and then just so you get to the start line free of stress on your unnecessary stress on your nervous system. The last thing you want is to show up a marathon race start and then your body's out of whack because of something different you did or some out of routine thing that you did.
Yeah, especially now that you're so close to the marathon.
That's
whatever you need to do, you probably would have done it already.
Probably would have. And then and this also applies for trying to get any kind of intervention in the race week, right? So if you've, for example, never tried a particular massage before, now is not the time to try that kind of massage, right? So you got any advice on that?
Yeah, I remember when I was supporting you at the past two SEA Games and seeing all the athletes getting ready for their race, and I can just imagine how much they have put in to get themselves to that stage. And what I've seen in the clinical setting is that most marathon runners tend to have back pain or sometimes even knee or ankle pain. But just have a think about it. The knee and the back and the ankle, they're all connected to each other. And one goes out, it can affect the other as well. So quite often you need to pay attention and listen to your body. If you're experiencing any back pains or knee pain, yeah, get it checked out. And of course, chiropractic is a good option. And how about yourself? Have you seen any observation?
Well, I guess I've been very thankful for all this regular, gentle chiropractic care over the years. Not to sustain training injuries on myself, but we do see lots of patients, including those running the marathon next weekend, that may have dealt with an injury or in the process of recovering from one. So I think if you're one of those that are recovering from one, not fully quite stabilized out of the woods yet, really listen to your body, and if need be, recalibrate, take the pace down, and really, if push comes to shove, there's always a next race. I think that's quite important as athletes. There'll always be a next marathon, there'll always be a next race, but I think it's important to recalibrate,
Yeah,
stay injury free, get out of your injury if you are sustaining an unfortunate injury at the moment.
yeah. And you mentioned this is your coming 16th marathon in Singapore.
16th, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if someone were to, if this is the first time someone is doing a marathon in Singapore, do you have any advice for them? I know you've traveled all over the world, and I know running a marathon overseas and in Singapore is quite different in terms of weather, the humidity, in terms of the terrain. And do you have any advice for the first time marathon runners in Singapore?
Yeah. So one big advice would be to trust the process. So trusting the process means you've already done all the training, you've done the hard work already. So believe in yourself come race day. And speaking of Singapore, as you know, with humidity and the heat, it does add a new challenge to running a marathon compared to running overseas climates. So listen to your body, take it conservatively at the start, and it's important to keep your head at the start when it's very easy to get caught up in the atmosphere and go too hard. You push too hard at the start, it's gonna be very hard once you start hitting a wall 30K onwards.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So I guess this comes to the end of our podcast. And if there's anything that you might like us to talk about, drop some comments below. And we'll see you at the next podcast. Bye.
Yeah, stay well aligned and perform to your best.
See you.